Gosh. Good evening, Blackpool. Yeah. It's not bad at all, is it, Blackpool? I'm surprised more people don't know about it. Anyway, my name is Miles Jupp, and I'm privileged not just to be here, but in general. I really am very lucky indeed. No point pretending otherwise. It's good to be somewhere sophisticated, such as Blackpool. It is. I've had an extraordinary run of weird, nerve-wracking gigs recently. I did a gig in Glasgow for a bunch of offshore oil workers who were onshore for one day and were, in fact, expecting to see a stripper. That actually went quite well. Oh, thank heaven for these pre-Raphaelite curves. Had to absolutely work my arse off, but we all went home happy. It's extraordinary. You do gig in extraordinary places. I did a gig at the beginning of this year in a little village on the south coast of England, a little village hall. A village hall is absolutely the worst place to even attempt this sort of entertainment. It's a little tiny stuck-up village. Everybody knows each other. But everything about this gig was weird. If I could describe the inhabitants of this village in one word, it would be wrong. I got picked up by this lady. She took me to the gig, right? She collected me from Winchester train station, right? We're driving to the gig, and she was going, "Oh, it's very good of you to come down and do this." I was saying, "Oh, it's no problem at all." She said, "They're a lovely audience." I said, "Yeah, tell me about the villagers. What are they like?" She said, "Oh, well, the youngest is about 45, something like that." "Oh, what about the oldest? About 85, 90? Yeah, pretty laid-back bunch. I think you're going to like them." I said, "Gosh, they do sound, if you don't mind me saying, madam, they do sound a little bit on the older side. That being the case, is there anything that I'm not allowed to talk about?" She said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Is there anything I'm not allowed to say?" I said, "Oh, no, you can say what you like. There won't be any ethnics there." That is absolutely not what I meant by the question. Anyway, I did their racist gig, right? 2 weeks later, I received a handwritten letter of complaint from a member of the audience, a prominent member of the Women's Institute, she told me, claiming that she thought there was too much bad language in my performance. What sort of village is that, where the moral high ground is occupied by the racists who don't like swearing? It's just pedantic behaviour, isn't it? A member of the WI writing a letter like that. I mean, I thought calendar girls were shit. I didn't write a letter to anybody. Just blame myself for going. I think what happened, basically, the lady, she heard the way that I speak, properly. And, no offence, obviously, Blackpool. Seriously, though, listen to yourselves. She heard the way that I speak and assumed that she could judge my politics and my outlook. That is very much the curse of this accent. A lot of people hear the way I speak and assume that I must be a homosexual. Don't know what the logic is there. I don't know if they think I've had to learn to enunciate clearly with a mouthful of other gentlemen. It's not the way I'd choose to speak. Obviously, nobody would choose to speak like this. I'd much rather have any sort of accent. I'd much rather have a Scottish accent and sound whimsical and tough, or an Irish accent and not have to write any material. The reason I speak like this simply is because this is the way that my parents speak. That's the way it works, isn't it? You do tend to inherit the accent of your forebears, which is why a lot of working class people seem to be incoherent. Because their parents were drunks. I am joking, obviously, when I talk about the working classes. I must be. I haven't met one. Absolutely no idea, yeah. Statistically, some of them must be smashing. It may surprise you to hear, Blackpool, that I encounter quite a lot of street aggression. I can't imagine what it might be about me. I was in Hull recently, on my way back from a show. I got mugged by a young man. He attacked me with a knife. Don't know why I thought a knife was necessary. His accent was bloody terrifying. Incredibly awkward when you're involved in a confrontation of this sort. You have to spend the whole time going, "I'm terribly sorry, young man. I really can't understand a word. I hope it's not directions. I'm simply not from round here." What then? "Oh, come on, you funny little fellow. Project! Use the diaphragm. There we are." Yeah. Turned out he was saying, "Give me your money." Said, "What, all of it?" "Most of it's tied up in land." paperwork's going to be an absolute nightmare. Ended up writing him a cheque. Yeah. I mean, it's a difficult time, isn't it, for people? It's a difficult time. People are very touchy about things, aren't they? There's a recession on, isn't there, which must be terrible for the people involved. I think the recession's great. Have you seen how cheap shit is? Yeah. Actually, fantastic. I bought a DVD of Time Cop the other day for £1. Yeah. Not even going to watch it. It's a very strange business, isn't the recession? As soon as it happened, people were desperate to blame someone. A lot of people said, oh, it's the fault of the bankers. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's how it works. I think if anyone is to blame for the recession that we're experiencing in the UK, it was the television news telling us that there was going to be a recession, and us all just sort of obediently going along with it. Do you know what I mean? Out of a desperate desire not to embarrass the BBC or something. I remember very clearly about 9 months ago, the newsreader at lunchtime suddenly going, everybody's panicking! Are they? I seem to be having a bit of toast in my pyjamas. Gosh, how serious is this? Will I need slippers?